My Pebble Beach video got one comment asking about how to play it or something along those lines. So I want to share a little bit. First of all, the melody and chords I got from the Peanuts Illustrated Songbook. I embellished them. It's not a transcription of Vince Guaraldi's performance in that book. But it's an arrangement, and you can, I think it probably has a couple of the chords notated, not quite right, things like that. So I listened to the recording and I sort of did my own thing. It's not, what I did is not a transcription either. Of course, I'm doing solo piano, and Guaraldi did it with a trio. But there's the solo section in the middle, which is not, to my knowledge, published as a transcription anywhere. So I transcribed it myself, and this is kind of how it goes. So the first 8 bars of the tune, and therefore the solo section, is 2 bars of F, 2 bars of B flat 7, 2 bars of F, and then a bar of E flat and a bar of D7 flat 9. Over those first 6 bars, where it's just F major and B flat 7, Guaraldi does a very Guaraldi thing that actually it's one of the things that Alec Villers in his University of North Texas PhD thesis about the Guaraldi sound talks about. It uses upper extensions. So we have this this chord, F major 7, and then B flat 7, and Guaraldi over both those chords, Vince is just playing C major triad. Well, there's one other note, but we'll get to that in a moment. So of course, when he's playing a trio, he's got probably a voicing something like that or something like that in his left hand. So it kind of makes a nice sound. I'm playing a bass line bossa nova-ish, so it's a lot of roots and fifths. So I instead of doing what Guaraldi does, you want to listen to the recording maybe, but instead of doing the I throw in an octave. If that sounds too open and not lush and jazz enough, you can maybe make a third or something. Well, I guess it's 7th to the top note, but I mean the third of the chord. Anyway, so Guaraldi played for the first 2 bars. So I'm doing except for, and then right, and then this is the only part. He goes up the triad, but he goes up to the A flat, which is the 7th of the B flat 7 chord. So all of that, other than that 1 A flat, is all C major triad stuff. So that's the first 6 bars. And then on the 7th bar, when he goes to the E flat 7, he just goes right up an E flat triad. Nothing big or surprising there. And then on the D7 flat 9 chord, which is going to be these notes, he plays all of the notes except for the root as an arpeggio. So the F sharp, the A, the C, and the E flat. So it's whoops. Bumped the camera stand there for a sec. So that's the first 6 bars, first 8 bars, excuse me. So bar 9 is a G minor chord, and he kind of plays a G minor / F major-ish thing. You can if that were an F chord, it'd be pretty straightforward. But over G minor, playing an F major, so that works out. And then bar 10 is an E minor 7 flat 5 to an A7 flat 9. So 2/5 in the key of D minor, 2 beats for each one. And he plays a lot of C major stuff again. So kind of harkening back to those earlier upper extensions, which is it totally works. And I will probably try to put this into Sound Slice to make it a little more easier. You can see it kind of, I don't want to share this. This is just my chicken scratch. Anyway, bar 10. So he goes up the C major, try it again, and then down to the F. And then on the A7 chord, he plays this. And then lands on D minor. Kind of sounds like he might have thought he was, still on the A7 flat 9, or he's just doing something cool. I don't know. Anyway, so now the bars 11 and 12, there's a walk down in the bass. It's D minor, and the bass just kind of does this, right, chromatically. So this is bars 11 and 12. Okay, so after that part, after the E diminished triad over the D minor chord, then it's more straightforward D kind of pentatonic-y stuff. It's not even pentatonic. It's just these 4 notes. It's the 3 notes of the D minor triad and a G thrown in as well. So. I play a G there at the top of bar 13, and you know that whole thing over the descending chromatic bass line with the D minor on top of it is kind of like done in this really relaxed kind of rhythm, you know. And then so there's other than that A, the 9th over the G7 in bar 13, there's nothing in bar 13 and 14 in the melody, and I just hang out on G there the whole time. And then it goes to the tritone substitute of G7. It goes to D flat 7. This is bar, now we're talking about bar 15. And then bar 16 is going to be a C7 going back to the, you know, to lead back to the tonic F at the top of the next 8. So yeah, so bar 15, when he's got the D7, D flat 7, excuse me, goes up the D flat triad, major triad. And now kind of anticipates, instead of, I said C7 before, but during the solo I play it as 2-5 rather than just a 5, because, you know, he plays the F and the D, which, you know, are really, you know, more G7, G minor 7 than C7. So he plays, so after going up the D flat triad, he then comes down a B flat triad. So, and then forwards on C7, it's just the 3rd and the 5th of the C triad. And then we're back to, now we're bars 17 through 24 are the same as bars 1 through 8. It's that 2 bars of F, 2 bars of B flat 7, 2 bars of F, E flat 7, D7 flat 9. And so for the first, for the first 4 bars at least, he does what he did the first time around, which is he hangs out, and this before it was almost entirely. This time it is entirely on notes that are in the C major triad. So, so like if we start 2 bars before the F, and then here we go. So, you know, again, you can listen to his solo or my video to get the rhythm. I changed a lot of the rhythms, some accidentally, some just more intentionally, because it kind of just, I don't know, just felt like I wanted to make it my own, I guess. Anyway, so now we're back on the F. This is bar 21. This time he does what, again, going back momentarily to Alec Villar's PhD thesis, he does, I forget what he calls it, but he has a specific term for the way Guaraldi would go up to or even start on the 4th degree of the scale, 4 chord, even though, you know, in the tonic, that's often called the avoid note. Well, the tonic and the dominant, it's often called the avoid note, which doesn't mean don't play it. It just means handle with care, of course. But anyway, yeah, so he goes, so, you know, like, kind of, that's the first bar is still on that, you know, we're still in that, that's beat 1 right there, those 2 notes. And then, so the next part is he starts playing pretty quickly. I do this mostly as triplets. The other thing he does, besides the starting on the 4th degree of the scale and going down to the 3rd, the other common Guaraldiism is enclosures, where he's, again, this is, you know, I'm using all the terminology from the Villar's thesis, although, you know, he didn't invent a lot of these terms, but whatever. So yeah, so you see, it's kind of, you know, it's in F major, so he, you know, starts on that B flat, and then he goes down an F major triad, and then he encloses the notes of the triad. So he's going to close the F by playing below it and above it, and then he's going to go down to the C and then close that. And he's going to go down to the A and then close that. He then goes chromatically up to the C. It's so it goes up chromatically to the C. And now next chord's E flat. So he does what he did last time, which is just play an E flat triad. And then the next chord is the D7 flat 9, and he kind of does what he did last time. He plays the all the notes except for the D, but this time he comes down to the D, and then goes down to the A from there. And then he sort of, I don't know if this is what he was thinking, but in my mind, this next part anticipates. So the D7 flat 9 goes to a G minor, which that's the typical thing that a flat 9 chord does. It's the 5 of a minor 1. So we got the D7 flat 9, and now we still got one more beat to go. We're on beat 4 now of the D7 flat 9, but he's anticipating the G minor, and a really common lick on a G minor is this sort of like go up an arpeggio, but instead of hitting the root, hit the 9th. So, and then he goes up to the 11th. So so altogether that's, and kind of slow. Let's actually. And then we're on G when he hits the C. And he does the same thing he did last time. He does the thing that he did on beat 3 last time, where he's on the C and he goes down chromatically to the A quickly. He does it now on beat 1 this time. Same thing though. And like last time, he's kind of just playing a F arpeggio with that 4th that he throws in. I'm sorry, not an F arpeggio. He goes to the C a little early, because now we're back on that 2-5 in D minor. So so that's, let's see here. So slowly. And now that's all of bar 25. Now bar 26 is the E minor 7 flat 5 to the A7 flat 9 again. So he's got that. Right, now this time, so now it's almost like he's anticipating the A7 by an 8th note, which is a common thing to do. And then this thing that he had over the D minor last time, up it and then down to the G. So it's that diminished thing that hits the 5th, 7th, and flat 9 of the A7, flat 9 chord. And then we're on D minor. I wouldn't voice the left hand the way I just did. Now, last time we hit this D minor chord, it's a chromatic walk down. This time it's D, C, and then the next bar, which, previously it was 2 bars, 2 beats, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. This time it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. So it's it's a D minor, C. And now this part, once you get to this B minor, so this is harmonically, this is a part of the Guaraldi sound that Villers calls a tritone walk down, which, as with the upper extensions, this is also something you hear a lot in Christmas Time's Here and a million other songs that Vince Guaraldi wrote. So in this case, it's going to be a 2-5 starting on B minor 7 flat 5 to E7 flat 9, and then another 2-5, a whole step down, another 2-5, a whole step down, and now we're at the tonic. So, Christmas Time's Here. Anyway, so in this case, it's the same roots, kind of. I mean, I guess it's not a tritone walk down because he's not walking down, or at least I'm not walking down. I'm not doing the tritone substitutions. I'm just doing 2-5, 2-5, 2-5, or sharp 4, 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. I mean, but anyway, same basic thing though. Anyway, I'm spending way too much time talking about the harmony. So now we're on a B minor 7 flat 5, E7 flat 9. So it's just these 3 notes. Okay, so now it's just really, A minor 7. So it's like the 5, 6, 4 scale tones. And now 2-5-1 in F minor, and we're just going to do the. You know, you got the 4 on the 2 chord, anticipates there. So it's just 4, 3, and 2, and then he doesn't go down tonic on the F chord. He stays with those upper extensions. So I played those as chords in my version, because once you get to the G, it's like, you know, it's like more upper extension E kind of stuff, because it's like you got the G in the bass, and you play a B flat major triad, and then you got the C in the bass, and if you play the A, and if you might throw in the dominant 7 in the left hand too, but if you play the A, you end up with a C 13 flat 9 chord, and this is a real common voicing for Guaraldi. I mean, a lot of people, but for Guaraldi especially, uses it in you know, O Tannenbaum and everything else. And then I believe this is also, you know, something, I know this is the end of the solo, not the song, but I believe at the end of Christmas Time Is Here, he also plays, you know, ends the whole song on an F major 7, F9, or F major 9, however you think about it. Anyway, and then, you know, you can do a turnaround. I do different turnarounds, you know, but that's basically it. Yeah. That's basically it for the solo. And you can watch, again, you can listen to the Vince Guaraldi recording or watch my video.